Here's what I'm doing. This is the driver's side fender. The fender's in two pieces. Let's go over to the driver's side. The fender's in two pieces. It's the fender and the bumper. The black is the bumper, and that tan color was the fender. What I did was, you can see I kind of split it here. So it's flat. And I'm going to put this inner wheel well on. I'm going to do this today, so I'll show you at the end of the video. We'll put this up in here. I got to do a little trimming. And basically this fender is going to bolt to the inner fender. So it'll put the fender where it belongs. And then I'm just going to use this as a sort of a template or a shell to fiberglass over. Just going to fiberglass right over top of it. And it's not going to meet because the fender only came to about here when the quarter panel was on it. So I got to add to it, bring it up into the end of the bed. So that's what I'm working on today. So I got these fenders mocked up on there. I got the passenger side on now. You can see I got this void in the front. I ground these fenders all down. They're bolted on. It's on. It's there. It's bolted to the inner fender. But I got this. I got to fill. So I was going to blow that with foam and sculpt it and then cover it with fiberglass and cover like the whole fender with fiberglass. But what I decided to do, got all this box of glass. What I decided to do, which seems to be going pretty good, is I have this aluminum, Lowe's had it, just some aluminum gutter screen. So it's not going to rust. Actually, this is a little bit flimsier. They made it a lot thinner than it used to be. But you can kind of sculpt and it'll hold a shape. So you can see I've just been piecing, but it's a little delicate. Just a piece and a piece and a piece, working a little bit at a time. So today what I'm trying to do is just fill this whole gap. And then once I get the gap filled up against the truck, it's all bolted and marked where it needs to be. I got plastic on the bed so I don't get nothing on the bed. So I got to go all the way around and do this gap all the way around, and then I'll start laying large pieces to roll that out. So I gotta go up to about where the line is because I gotta get enough there to keep my curve. So that's working pretty good. I'm just getting thin layers. This is just one coat of glass. Probably get one coat all the way down, and then I'll start laying large strips to get my flat edge up against the cab or the bed. So there's how that filled up. I've got several layers, about maybe 5 layers of fiberglass in here. So that's all good and strong. And see, I'm right up against the bed. So now what I'll do is I'll take that fender off, and I'll probably take a grinder and clean that edge up. And I'll just rock it with the grinder and give it a little bit of shape, take off some of the high spots. So here it is off. So I got to clean this edge, but I got to pull all this stuff off, all the plastic. I had just white tape in here, so it just wasn't all coming through. Some vinyl tape. And I backed it up with, probably from the heat, I backed it up with those shipping pillows. Plastic kept everything off the bed. And now the fender won't have that huge gap. I did give it a little bit of weight. Something like that. So I'm going to clean this up and go from there. So after taking that off, and I cleaned that edge a little bit, just kind of ran the grinder over it to kind of knocked down some heavy stuff there. It's so now it does go. You can see 2 lines here. I got this bottom line. That's where I needed to come up to. This top line it wasn't a mismeasurement, but I was going to change the shape of the fender. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to leave it just like it is. It's going to roll under at the bottom just like it does. The only thing I'm going to, right here, it's got this little dip from the bumper. I'm going to bring this down straight and round this out a little more when I coat it in fiberglass. But that's good. It's on there. Well, it's bolted to the inner fender, and it's just snugged up against here. You can see I filled that gap extremely. That's not a nice finished gap or anything, but yeah, that did good compared to the void that was there. See, I haven't done this side yet. It ended up being an all-day job on that one fender. So this one I gotta fill the gap with that aluminum wire. It just holds the fiberglass up till it cures. This one's a little deceiving because it looks like the fender is a little more forward because of this boxed off area back here. The other side's open. Plus, with this being black, makes it much more noticeable. But it's right on where it should be. See, it's just sitting on here. Well, it's bolted. It's all bolted into where the inner fender well goes. So it's exactly where it should be. I do have to change the pitch on these taillights a little bit because they're kind of in more at the top than the bottom. They're sort of like that because on the car it rolled up. So on the truck they kind of look rolled up. It just doesn't look right. So what I'll just have to do, I'll cover this, or I'll recast this in fiberglass, and I'll just change the angle so the light's straight up and down instead of rolled in. So hopefully tomorrow I can get to this side. And that's one step closer. But that came out good. What I'll do from here is, see the back, it got kind of, my gap got kind of wavy back here because the heat of the fiberglass curing kind of melted the plastic that I had on here. But that's good. Plus it needs to pull up, so it's about right there. I'll do some fine tuning, but what I'm going to do from here is completely cover that. I'm going to roll fiberglass. I'm thinking like 4 or 5 layers, at least 3. Completely cover the whole fender, all the way down, everything, in one piece, all of this, so it'll just be a fiberglass shell over top of this ABS fender. And then I'll start shaping it to what I need. But it should be pretty good. There's a little flatness in here. I just skipped the grinder over to see where I was at, but it's going to get some more fiberglass on it, and